Hello and welcome to another update video about PAXG. A lot of requests recently about PAXG, the gold-backed cryptocurrency. Prices come from FTX. I made ATA on PAXG that was back in January. Yeah, and we have not seen this work out as expected. I'm getting into that in a minute. But a lot of requests at the moment about PAXG, basically because, yeah, as I said, because of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Gold obviously did have a bit of a bull run here in the last few days and weeks, but again, is this really sustainable? And that is what I wanna really get to, and that is also why it's not over my scenario that I have on the chart here. Okay, so we want to take a look at that, and we can do that jumping in. The problem with PAXG, because it's not very old, it's still a very young it's a very young cryptocurrency. You can only do limited things with the actual PAXG chart. So I'm gonna dive into the PAXG chart, but then I'll go back to my gold analysis. Yeah, that is based on the gold futures. So we're gonna take a look at that because it has the longer chart history. And it also is a bit more accurate because you don't get these weird peaks here that you have here on the chart that sometimes just come from some sort of weird transactions from the exchange or something, because the volume is still fairly low on PAXG compared to many other cryptos. But PAXG is getting more popular. We talked about it before months ago in a member live stream. And it has now made its way into the top 100. So the market cap obviously is increasing. The circulating supply, I'm not sure if that is actually increasing, but the market cap is increasing due to the latest increase in the gold price. Yeah, so obviously that is interesting. It is really, really tied to the gold price. And you can just take a look here at the PAXG price, 1989 USDT, and the gold price is the gold futures 1985. So really tied to that. And so what did I say in the last video? Well, I told you that in my view, what we did here, we were on our way here in an impulsive move down to that wave 3, 4, 5 to complete a correction, after which we would then probably, if we find support here around 1600, that we then will be able to move to new all-time highs. Now that hasn't happened, but I want to add, it hasn't happened yet, because what we have seen here, this move up, which looks bullish in the first instance, but what was it? In my view, all it was a wave B, and I get to that in the gold chart because it is a bit better to explain that. It was just part of a correction. So in the end, what you have here, and let me just take these out. In the end, what do we have here on the chart? We do have a similar situation that we had with Bitcoin, when Bitcoin made in the month of, I think it was April, May, was it April 2021, made an all-time high, then came down and started a wave B, basically a fake out to the upside, which was part of a correction, yeah, and then came down. And I do expect that sell-off either now, or I mean, the price still has a chance to go back to that all-time high at around 2090, 2100, and then come down. Yeah, so in terms of the elite wave count, and again, it's a bit difficult on this chart because it has that short short chart history, but in terms of the elite wave count, and I'll explain that further in the gold chart because it's a bit clearer, this here was a wave 3 back in September 2020, so it was an impulsive move to the upside. We currently are overall here in this way to this target range between 1600 and it's actually 1720. So need to adjust that a little bit. 1720, that is based on Fibonacci levels of that correction of a wave 4. Okay, so this would be a wave 4. And then in the next instance, if this support level is going to hold at 1600, then the next move up would be into the region of $2,500. And that would be a wave 5. And with that, you would also complete a higher level wave 5 in addition. So as soon as we reach that sort of area in this region, 2,500, maybe a little bit higher, you can expect a huge correction afterwards. Okay, so that is what the elite wave analysis would tell me. Obviously, you can only do limited things here with this overall chart, but this is what I would expect the price to move down into this area here. And from there, because this is not impulsive, what we're doing here is not impulsive. You cannot count an impulse into this. And then going all the way up into a wave 5. But again, this is a critical level, this $1,600 level. If this is not holding, then this is going to move down further, and we will be able to see that on the gold chart, that then you're looking at price levels of below $1,400. Yeah, if the 1,600 don't hold. So overall, what did we have? This is a wave 3, this is a wave 4. What are we looking at here? We are looking at the overall pattern of an A, B, C. And that is a wave B, which did get all the way to the all-time high, which again is tricking many people out. I mean, we've already seen the sell-off of 2,090 back down to below $2,000 now. $2,000 a psychological level. You can see that gold is already again getting overbought above on the RSI, on the 4-day chart of PAXG, getting overbought above 70 nearly. Yeah, on the 4-day chart, which is quite significantly. On the daily chart, it was overbought already here. Yeah, so again, correction incoming, right? That's what we're doing here. And the MACD also on the daily already turning into the bearish mode. From a weekly point of view, yes, it makes impression. It's very bullish on the MACD, still pointing here towards the upside, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is starting to change soon, because on the RSI as well, you're starting to move here into the overbought range on the RSI, and that weekly candle is not looking bullish at all with that strong wick to the upside. But again, as you can see here, there are a lot of long wicks, and this is part of the inaccuracy of this PAXG chart, unfortunately. So let's go to the gold chart, the gold futures chart, and here a little bit of the longer term view of the elite wave count of gold, where you had actually back in overall here, you had your wave 1 that was back in 1980, then you had your wave 2. So that's very long term. But what is more interesting is here this wave 3, which came back in 2011. Yeah, that was the wave 3 top. Then we came down in a wave 4, and now we are in this wave 5 that would, in my view, peak into the area between 2,500, 2,600, 2,700, that sort of region. So we are really, we are really here sort of in the last leg of, I mean, we are still in a correction in that wave 4, but there is, the upside potential is not great, I have to say. Okay, so that, at least as per my Elliott wave analysis here, that wave 3 was obviously a significant top that was back in 2011. We then came down in that wave 4, as I said, and now in this wave 5, you have already completed your wave 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you are now in this wave 4, and the next one would be that wave 5 within that wave 5. So you basically would jump on board in the last leg of a bull run. I mean, that can take a year. That is, the gold chart is slow generally, and you can see that just by how long it has taken gold to really pick up. What is very striking in this chart and very, very interesting and also a bit concerning is that back in 2011 you had this sort of fractal here. Yeah, you can see that when we peaked here in this wave 3, very similar to what we did here in August 2020. Yeah, then you came down, and now you're moving up, and then you moved up, and this was also an A, B, C. Yeah, now you're in a similar wave, A, B, C, and that's what I mean. If the $1,600 doesn't hold, you're gonna see much lower levels of $1,377 US and below. Okay, and that is very, very critical. So it is really, really striking, this similarity between this fractal and what we are currently doing. Yeah, you can see that. And if that plays out the same way, then you're looking at, in the next step, quite a significant sell-off. The minimum sell-off, what I do expect here, is this $1,720 to $1,600 level. But it's not guaranteed it's going to stop there. Because if it doesn't, then we're not talking about a wave 4 here. Then you're getting a more significant sell-off. And it's, again, everybody now expecting or expected gold to go up. And yeah, it did go up, but again, just because something, and I do explain that with Bitcoin as well, just because something moves up, there is always short-term upside potential. and irrational runs to the upside. And these are often those wave Bs, but they are not sustainable impulses that will really lead to new all-time highs. So the chart isn't ready for that yet. The chart isn't ready for that wave 5. It needs to first correct down before it can come into that wave 5. So that's really my view here, my message, and not telling you that the price will go down straight away. It can, of course, find support here, move back to that 2090 level again. It can even overshoot it. Yeah, we have seen that before. You can see those overshooting waves, wave Bs. Yeah, absolutely. It could even go to maybe 2100. That's what Bitcoin did in November before it comes down. So, but then again, of course, money can be made, but I always ask myself the question, is it then worth the risk to take, for example, a short-term long position if you're already up and against it and the upside potential is limited? Yeah, money can be made everywhere really, but it's all about managing the risk and the opportunities. And in my view, gold is not the best opportunity at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I do hold gold as well, but it is more a very, very long-term thing for me and more a insurance and security, and not really something that I would use to make money short-term. Personally, I don't use leverage. Yeah, you probably know that from my crypto videos, but gold is something, gold futures, where I did use leverage in the past because it is not very volatile generally. But overall, yeah, you can see it on the chart. There is not really much more room to the upside. So the message here is we are going into that wave 4, and if you lose this this green target area between 1600, there is significant downside potential, okay? And that would obviously be the same for PAXG. Yeah, and hopefully that video was useful. That's pretty much all I can tell you here for now. Hopefully that video was useful. If you liked the update about PAXG and gold, let me know. If you did, yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you really like the content, maybe check out the channel membership. I did post this chart and this analysis of gold for the gold members, yeah, in the gold member channel on Discord. So I just wanted to clearly update everybody because there was a large interest in PAXG as well. But for the gold members, I do additional stuff that is outside of crypto, and I will add some more about maybe silver in the future and stocks and shares we're doing anyway. And there are also more frequent updates about the S&P 500. That is the additional benefit that I offer to gold members. And to be honest, the membership is not much more expensive than the silver membership. But it is for everybody who's also interested in other stuff beyond just crypto. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.